Hello, second grade. Happy Monday. I hope you had an excellent weekend. I'm so excited to get going with this week because we're learning about tornadoes, and you guys know that nonfiction books are my favorite. So we're going to be using the book about tornadoes to learn a couple of things. We're going to be learning how to determine what's important in a book and what's just a fun, interesting fact. When you're reading a nonfiction text, there are important things that are a part of the main idea, and then there are interesting facts that make the book or writing more interesting. So we are going to practice that by reading the book Tornadoes. Okay. Okay, tornadoes. The word tornado comes from the Spanish word meaning tronada, meaning thunderstorm. It is raining hard. The winds are strong. The sky is dark. Suddenly, a twisting column of moist air reaches down from a cloud and touches the ground. It makes a loud, roaring sound. It is a tornado. Tornadoes begin inside storm clouds called cumulonimbus clouds, which are made up of warm, moist air. These large, dark clouds can grow to be tall and enormous. There is lightning, thunder, rain, hail, and high winds. Hail is frozen rain in the form of ice pellets, which may be the size of golf balls or even larger. When warm, humid air rises from the ground toward a dark cumulonimbus thunderhead, it creates an updraft that pulls more warm, humid air with it. When the air rises to where the temperature is cooler, condensation occurs, creating rain or hail. The cool air falls back toward Earth, creating a downdraft. If the updraft and the downdraft come together and start to spin, a funnel-shaped cloud forms inside the thunderhead and sometimes tilts into a funnel that reaches down toward the ground. As the funnel cloud spins faster, it sucks up more warm air and becomes bigger and louder and more powerful. If it touches the ground, a tornado is born. Tornadoes may occur at any time of the year if the weather and conditions are right. In 1971, Theodore Fujita developed the Fujita tornado scale, rating tornadoes on a scale from F0 to F5. Since then, the scale has been enhanced, setting stricter standards for measuring damage. Since February 1st, 2007, the enhanced Fujita tornado scale has been used to classify tornadoes from EF0 to EF5. Classifications are mostly based on the amount and type of damage caused. There is no way yet to directly measure the winds in every tornado. Wind speeds are only estimates and based on the severity of the damage. No matter how big or little a tornado is or how long it lasts on the ground, it is likely to cause damage. EF0 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 65 miles per hour and 85 miles per hour. They can damage chimneys, break limbs off trees, and blow over shallow-rooted trees. EF1 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 86 miles per hour and 110 miles per hour. They can peel the surface off roofs and overturn small trucks and mobile homes. EF2 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 111 miles per hour and 136 miles per hour. They can tear the roof off a frame of a house, demolish mobile homes, and snap or uproot large trees. EF3 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 137 miles per hour and 166 miles per hour. They can uproot a forest and lift heavy cars off the ground. EF4 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 167 miles per hour and 200 miles per hour. They can demolish well-constructed houses, leaving few walls standing. Other structures may be blown off their foundation and moved some distance. EF5 tornadoes are the most violent tornadoes. They may have wind speeds of 201 miles per hour and more. Well-constructed houses are lifted off their foundations, carried away, and totally destroyed. Trains have been lifted off their tracks. The devastation is so extreme that it is hard to believe. There are two regions in the United States that experience tornadoes frequently. One region is in the middle section of the country where most of the violent tornadoes occur. It is often referred to as Tornado Alley. In this area, most of the tornadoes occur during April, May, and June. The other is the state of Florida, where most tornadoes occur during January, February, and March. The United States has about 1,200 tornadoes a year, more than any other country. On May 3rd, 1999, 96 tornadoes ravaged parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota. If the EF scale had been in effect when the tornadoes had occurred, some of the most destructive ones may have been classified as EF5. The damage in the Oklahoma City area alone was valued at more than $1 billion. On the afternoon of March 18, 1925, a record-breaking tornado devastated parts of Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. It's called the Great Tri-State Tornado. An estimated 695 people died. It is believed that 606 people died in Illinois alone. The tornado was on the ground for 3 hours and 29 minutes. It traveled 217 miles. If the EF scale had been in effect at this time, this tornado may have also been classified as EF5. Meteorologists are scientists who studied the weather. Meteorologists are on constant watch to predict and warn people of dangerous storms that may produce tornadoes. They study computer data and radar screens. The National Weather Service reports to television and radio stations if they see the possibility of tornadoes forming. This information is broadcasted every 15 minutes and gives people time to prepare. What to do when a tornado approaches? If your house has a basement, go to it at once. If you are in a house without a basement, go to an interior closet or bathroom far from the outside walls. Crouch down low, cover your head with your hands, and stay away from the windows and outside walls. Try to cover yourself with something heavy. If you can, crouch under a set of stairs. If you are in a car, get out and find low ground. After the tornado, be careful of fallen electrical wires, broken glass, and unsafe structures. Try to have an adult help you. Okay, and that is our book about tornadoes. So I want to stop and ask you a couple of questions. Second grade, you don't have to write this down. If you're watching this video with someone, you guys can have a conversation about it. Or if you want to pause the video and think about your answer, that's great too. I want to ask you, what is the book mostly about? There's a lot of facts about tornadoes. What is the book mostly about? Yes, the book is mostly about tornadoes. It's just that simple. When we go and break it into smaller sections, there are certain pages that are about different things. For example, there are pages about specific tornadoes. So the main idea of those pages would be really dangerous tornadoes. And that's when you see in nonfiction books, you see headings, and that tells you what that section is about. But the whole book, the overarching main idea is of tornadoes, learning about tornadoes. What important facts did the author want to teach the readers? So there's a couple of things that are super important in this book that Gail Gibbons, the author, wanted us to learn. Number one, how tornadoes were formed. Number two, examples of tornadoes, the rating scale, and what to do in case of a tornado. So there are 4 things that she wanted us to learn. I want you to think about one wow thing that you learned. What was one thing that really stuck out to you to where you thought, I didn't know that, or that's super interesting? The last question is tornadoes are kind of scary. And so my question for you is, why is it important to learn about this? It's important to learn about things like these because the more you know, the safer you'll be. The very last pages of the book, we're talking about what to do in case of a tornado. So there's nothing we can do to stop tornadoes, but there are things that we can do, measures that we can take to keep ourselves safe. And that's why it's important to learn about these things. Okay, so we're going to move to talking about our reading strategy. So our reading strategy is trying to figure out what things are important facts that contribute to the main idea and what are just interesting facts. So we're going to go back to our story for a moment. And we are going to turn to page 8. Friends, if you'd like to reread this book, it's on Get Epic. If you search Tornadoes by Gail Gibbons. Oh, here we are, page 8. Okay, so I'm going to model our strategy for you. We're going to read page 8, and we're going to decide what are important facts and what are interesting facts. Okay, page 8 says, in 1971, Theodore Fujita developed the Fujita tornado rating scale that rates tornadoes on a scale from F0 to F5. Since then, the scale has been enhanced, setting stricter standards for measuring the damage. Starting February 1st, 2007, the enhanced Fujita tornado scale has been used to classify tornadoes from EF0 to EF5. Okay, so my first step is to determine what the main idea of this page is. And the main idea of this page is just to inform you about the tornado scale. So the facts that are about the tornado scale are ones that are contributing to the main idea. So I want to draw your attention to sentence 1. In 1971, Theodore Fujita developed the Fujita tornado scale, rating tornadoes on a scale from F0 to F5. That is a sentence that is important. That is an important fact because it supports the main idea that is telling us about the rating scale. Sentence number 2. Since then, the scale has been enhanced, setting stricter standards for measuring the damage. That sentence is just an interesting fact. That doesn't necessarily directly support the main idea. Sentence number 3. Starting February 1st, 2007, the enhanced Fujita tornado scale has been used to classify tornadoes from EF0 to EF5. That one will be an important fact. It's giving an important fact that supports the idea of explaining what the tornado scale is. Okay, so for your work on Class Kick today, you are going to do the same thing that I just did with page 22 and 23. Okay, so here's the page, what you're going to do, and there will be a picture of this on Class Kick as well. There are 2 regions in the United States that experience tornadoes frequently. One region is in the middle section of the country, where most of the violent tornadoes occur. It is often referred to as Tornado Alley. In just this area, most of the tornadoes occur in April, May, and June. The other state is Florida, where tornadoes occur during January, February, and March. The United States has about 1,200 tornadoes a year, more than any other country. Okay, so what you're going to do is step number 1, determine what is the main idea of this page. What does the author want you to learn from this page? Then you're going to choose one important fact, one fact that supports the main idea, and one fact that is an interesting detail. And you're going to type both of those into Class Kick. All right. Today in math, we're going to be learning about graphs again, but this week we're going to be learning about a type of graph called pictographs. As you can tell by the name, pictographs represent data using pictures. I am going to show you an example of a pictograph. Here we are. Here is a pictograph. You can see that each piece of data is represented by a picture. I want to draw your attention to a couple of things that are the same between pictographs and bar graphs. Pictographs and bar graphs both have a title. They both have labels, and they both have this line where the graph is at. There's one new piece of a pictograph that we did not learn about for bar graphs. Instead of having numbers going up the side, a pictograph has a key. You can see here the key says one animal equals one tally mark one piece of data. So we're going to use the pictograph the same way we use the bar graph. So I'm going to ask some questions and then I'm going to give you the answers. If you have a piece of paper, write it down. If not, that's okay too. How many people chose a fish as their favorite pet? 2. Very good. How many more people chose cat than fish? We know how many more means subtract. So I can see there are 3 cats and 2 fish. So if I take away 2 from 3, it's 1. So one more person chose cats more than fish. Which pet was the favorite, or which pet got the most vote? And you can see that that is dogs. Okay, friends, so you have a pictograph in your class kick. So head on over there and answer those questions, and I cannot wait to see. Okay, second grade, have a good day. Goodbye.